Sleep is an 8-hour lullaby, instrumental music, electronic music. In a way, it's a question about how everything is getting faster. All our lives are accelerating. And I think, many of us feel the need of a place to rest, a point of repose. And that's what this piece is, an 8-hour place to rest. So sleep is also an experiment, really, into how music and consciousness can connect in a different way. It's a piece of nighttime music, and I'm hoping people will actually sleep through it. It's an area which has kind of fascinated me a long time, how the mind functions while sleeping and how music can interact with that. We recorded the piece at Avatar in New York, which is a classic old rock and roll studio, one of the nicest sounding string rooms I've ever worked in. It's just a huge, great wooden structure. And they have all the right old toys. It's a beautiful vintage Neve desk, and wonderful old mics and stuff, And then Acme, the American Contemporary Music Ensemble, a string quintet in this case. All of whom are great players and great guys. We've worked together a long time, and we sort of we recorded it in a kind of intense few days, and it was kind of a challenge actually. It was quite an interesting, sort of challenging process. It's mostly very quiet, it's mostly very slow. And those are things which are actually not that easy to record, especially for string players, because it's physically very demanding on them. Long, slow bows, nowhere to hide in the music. Every note is has to be perfect. It all has to be perfect, otherwise, you break the illusion. And it's very, very challenging, and they're brilliant at that stuff. And we had actually a really fascinating and actually it was a really good fun time in the end.
It's music that feels very familiar, I think, to anyone who listens to it, but it's not at all. It's totally transformative in a way, and it's sort of magic the way it takes you away, even as a performer. It feels like there's no time that's passing by, even though we've, just tracked something that was 12, 15 minutes long.
It's interesting because in order to, even though this music is written to be slept through, in order to play it, you have to be very awake. Because things that are seemingly simple often are actually difficult to execute, especially executing them over and over and over again.
I really enjoy playing Max's music because of the emotional content that's underlying all of the things that he writes. So it may have repetition, but there's always this underlying kind of gripping emotion that can sometimes be very dark, but also be very uplifting and happy. So for me, it's such a joy to really sink your teeth into that kind of emotional music.
I mean, the musical language of Sleep is deliberately very simple and direct. It's structured as a set of variations. I love variation forms anyway, because they allow you to play with kind of identity and memory and repetition. And those are things I really enjoy doing musically. the piece exists in two versions. The main work is 8 hours long. It's to be played at night and hopefully slept through. And I've also made a 1 hour sort of daytime listening version as an alternative. And now the thing really is I'm looking forward to putting together the live performances, which is kind of a thing in itself, you know, being on stage for 8 hours, playing for a sleeping audience. I'm looking forward to that experiment.